about concentration camps and all that stuff wasn't in our generation, wait till you hear this.
Walmart FEMA Camp's conspiracy theory is a relatively recent addition to the landscape of American conspiracy theories. It gained traction in 2015 when Walmart suddenly closed several stores across the United States, citing plumbing issues. According to the conspiracy theory, these closures were not for repairs, but part of a secret government plan to convert the stores into detention centers or supply hubs for the Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA. Proponents of the theory claim that these camps would be used to detain American citizens during a period of martial law or societal collapse. Conspiracy theorists point to several suspicious elements to support their claims. The abrupt nature of the store closures, the presence of underground tunnels beneath some Walmart stores, Walmart's alleged cooperation with the Department of Homeland Security, the store's large parking lots, supposedly ideal for housing temporary structures. The theory often intertwines with other conspiracies, such as the Jade Helm 15 military exercise, which some believed was a dry run for implementing martial law.
Could it be possible that arresting and detaining United States citizens in concentration camps is here? And could it be possible that Walmarts will be utilized to detain United States citizens? After all, they're conveniently located in most inner cities. Let's just take a look at this theory and see what we can find.
William Mount and Channel 77 in Seattle. People ask me why Walmarts are closing. The answer is simple. When I took an Army logistics class, the U.S. Army developed a logistics system for Walmart. Walmarts were strategically set up around the world to act as military distribution bases. So if we have problems in Yemen, the Special Forces takes over the Walmart in Yemen. You can order a helicopter and nuclear weapons on the Walmart logistics system. There's a back door into it. They taught me that. If you are going to have Operation Jade Helm throughout the Southwest.
Operation Jade Helm, for those of you who didn't watch it, Operation Jade Helm was with President Barack Obama, and it was a practice training for deployment of military troops to American cities to get citizens. Okay, that's Operation Jade Helm. Operation Midway Blitz is the actual enactment of military troops to the cities throughout the United States. That's what he's talking about. How this Jade Helm project identified the different Walmarts within the city as a part of its training.
If you are going to have Operation Jade Helm throughout the Southwest, you seize a Walmart. You can order things such as M16 rounds. You can order an M16 through the Walmart program. So they walk into a Walmart, fire 2,200 people in California. You're all laid off, go away, no unemployment, get out of here. Because the military then takes over their base. The specific logistics program I was trained on in California is the same program they use at Walmart. The Walmarts are federal military posts. How many Walmarts they have, they get extra money from the government. And when the government takes over, they get a fortune from the government. Those products are redistributed to other for the toys that we're getting at Walmart. Sorry, it's the way it is. The end game is here. Folks, if you get laid off from Walmart and Home Depot, they're federal. They're similar to colleges that are federal repositories, like Humboldt State University, where they have underground battalion headquarters. Evergreen State College in Washington. Thousands of colleges have pre-prepared military bases underneath them. The Walmarts and the Home Depots are the same way. So if you're working for Home Depot and you get laid off, go to another one. But that's likely to get laid off. Because as Poodly hits the fan, this is what is in our Department of Defense manuals, to seize the Home Depots and to seize the Walmarts and use their logistics program to order our weapons to kill us. It's the way it is. Sorry, I've been trained.
Okay, so we just heard a testimonial of, his name was William Mount, Channel 77 in Seattle, and he spoke of how he was trained by the Department of Defense, which is now the Department of War, on how Walmarts will be used to detain and house United States citizens in concentration camps. Now we're going to take a look into this a little bit further and see what's happening.
Speed up deportations, internal ICE documents show. The DHS has been actively purchasing large industrial warehouses in multiple states, including Maryland and Arizona, to convert them into massive immigration detention facilities. 1,500 plus people in a new warehouse in Maryland, 1,500 plus more in Arizona, 7,500 plus planned for Missouri, 8,500 plus in a warehouse in Texas, among the largest U.S. jails of any kind, 80,000 plus total once all the sites are complete. DHS has been quietly buying massive warehouses with the explicit purpose of warehousing people. It's here now. They're building the camps. In total, they're looking at 23 different concentration camps is what they're building. And guys, we've seen what this looks like. We've been through it before. They've praised on record CICOT, the El Salvadoran concentration camp, where people are raped, people are tortured, people have no rights whatsoever. We also have Alligator Alcatraz. Remember that? Thankfully, that was shut down by court order. But it was a horror show. If it rained, the place would, okay? There was mold and flood. Okay, there was mold everywhere. The AC didn't work right. It was in there. People would pass out. There were hunger strikes happening. It was a mess. It was a mess. It was a literal concentration camp is what it was. And the thing that was most disgusting is they took pride in how evil it was. They took pride. They would brag about how evil it is. Well, now we have 23 different concentration camps that are propping up all across the U.S. This is unacceptable. And by the way, you are thief if you think, oh, they're only going to go after immigrants with this stuff. First of all, they told us originally, oh, it's only undocumented immigrant violent criminals. That's a lie. Literally 95% of the people they're going after have no criminal record whatsoever. That's point number one. Point number two is, even if you think, oh, they're just going to stop at immigrants in general, that's not true either. Not only are they going to go after legal immigrants, they're going to go after Americans. They already shot 2 Americans and murdered them on camera from 17 different angles, and none of those people are arrested, by the way. Right? They're going to go after dissenters. Look at NSPM 7. Look at what they consider terrorist or terrorist adjacent. Okay? They're going to go, okay? This is what's going on. It's time for people to wake up. It's time for people to grow up and acknowledge what's happening in this country. Okay, ready for this? Video of FBI arresting Ian Austin today. Ian Austin is a technology journalist who reports on privacy, surveillance, and civil liberties, including government use of facial recognition and data tracking, with work published by outlets like Ars Technica. They are purposely targeting journalists, y'all.
Relax! What are you guys doing? Around. What are you guys doing? Grab my phone. Do not let them take it. Please stay back. Grab my phone. Grab my keys. I'm a 6-time Army combat veteran. This is insane, yo. Max, call Valerie. Hey, call Valerie. Get a hold of James Cook.
I'm gonna try to do
Yeah, James Cook. Call James Cook.
What's your name? What's your name, sir?
My name is Ian Austin. They're targeting me because I had 5.5 million streams yesterday. I was at the church. They want to turn me into.
So he also covered the church protests like Don Lemon did and like the other journalist Georgia did. And they got locked up as well. They got arrested as well. They're targeting journalists on purpose. They're trying to criminalize journalism for exposing the ICE Gestapo thugs. Breaking from MS Now, the Trump administration is now eyeing Ohio for immigration enforcement operations that could begin as early as next week. The operation is expected to target Haitian immigrants with temporary protected status for Haiti, expiring on February 3rd. One of the people familiar with the matter told MS Now. So it's actually not true that, oh, their protected status is expiring February 3rd. Trump tried to make that the case. Courts intervened and said, you actually cannot make that the case. They are still protected. And they go, we don't care. We're going to go after them anyway. So what we're looking at is the Trump regime, this is super important, going after legal immigrants. They are here legally. Trump is going after legal immigrants. This is the same group of people that he lied about and said, they're eating the cats, they're eating the dogs. Now they're going to go and try to bust them up. Now they're like, let's go back to the old tried and true strategy. Now we'll go harass black people. That's what we'll do. We'll try to kick black people out of the country. That's what they're doing. And then finally, and this perhaps is the most important story here. Citizens for Ethics tweets here. This is a Wired article. DHS's data bank is getting citizens kicked off voter rolls. That's a serious problem. So in other words, As you all know, ICE and the CBP and all these federal thugs are going around and taking pictures of all the protesters. And then your name is going in a database where you're considered a domestic terrorist. So what do? Well, they're kicking people off their TSA pre-check. And so they're kicking you off the voter roll. Ballot spoiling, ballot purging. This is what it looks like. And we're just witnessing it in real time right now. All those great people out there in the streets observing ICE, using their constitutional rights, being the most American of anybody, they are trying to kick those people off the voter rolls. It is absolutely wild what's happening in this country. I've never seen anything like this, bro. I've never seen anything like this.
So now the question is, are those concentration camps for criminals, or could they potentially be for United States citizens? And if they are for United States citizens, how did they get on the domestic terrorist list?
What exactly can the government do to him, to any of us, whether we're on the watch list or not? As a journalist, my first hunch is to go straight to the source. Michael German is a former FBI agent who has experience with the terrorism watch list.
What is the internal designation given to people who are on that watch list?
Known or suspected terrorist.
Do you need to be a known or suspected terrorist to be given that designation?
No, you do not. There's plenty of evidence that people who were put on these lists were investigated for no reasons. So you're building this expanding pool of suspects based on little or no real evidence.
What are the most extreme things that can happen to you if you end up in that system?
There's so little transparency that we don't know all the ways that the watch list might be used. So from a deprivation of rights standpoint, there's a lot you could lose.
Let's say I'm an American citizen. I get taken into secondary screening. Surely I have Fourth Amendment protections, right?
Not at the border. Anything coming across the border could be contraband, and therefore the government has a right to search it without a warrant.
The agents that take me to secondary screening have the authority to read the contents of my emails or my text messages.
And not just read them, but put them in a database for other agents across the intelligence community to read them. All of that information can be collected when you cross the border.
So I think a lot of people are not aware of this. What you're saying then is that at least some of our constitutional protections don't exist when we're in a border crossing or an airport coming back from abroad.
Right. You might try going to the airport tomorrow and seeing how you do.
Please note that such occurrences have already happened to individuals who were protesters that were put on this list. So this brings us back to the question at the very beginning. Are the Walmarts being used, or could they potentially be used as concentration camps for these dissenters? Well, I'm about to show you something that shows how such a Walmart has been converted into a detention center for immigrants. Now the question becomes, could this extend itself to United States citizens?
We saw this huge warehouse. It was a super center for Walmart before, now it's a super detention center. That is, it's holding almost 1,500 kids inside there. Walls that have been constructed that go up near the ceiling, long corridors, because you need a lot of bedrooms created to hold 1,500 kids.
What we've seen today is the direct evidence of a cruel and inhumane policy. You can have a secure border, and you can still have a humane policy with respect to asylum. You can do both things. The Trump administration has decided not to.
Please also take note that the video that you just saw was from 7 years ago, and the conditions that the children are being held in is nothing like this. However, that video was shown so that you can see how a Walmart was converted into a detention center. So are concentration camps being built in 2026 for United States citizens? Possibly. What do you think?